All right, there we go. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to our weekly comic book review. We still don't have a name for ourselves, but we're getting there. Whenever we do, we decided that we are going to... Stop chewing your gum. That's real gross. Let's spit it out or something. I don't know. Sorry. Yeah, when we figure out a name for ourselves or something, we're going to probably make another channel, and we'll just abandon these original ones on my old channel. But, yeah, welcome back.
You can't move them over?
I don't know. You might be able to.
YouTube downloader.
Yeah, there's probably a way. I don't know how kosher it is, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, once again, I'm Matt. Travis and Devin, and our guest for today is a little bit little. He's too short to be on camera, but my son Liam is here with us today. So if he runs in here and stuff, then bear with us. But yeah, so we're back. We have a whole new lineup of books that came out this week to talk about. I'm gonna move this.
$20.99.
What's that?
I said except for Spider-Man $20.99.
Yeah, that was from last week, but you're still going to cover it this week, so that's cool. We'll have that occasionally. We might do some stuff out of order. Maybe one day we'll actually get everything squared away. We'll have a schedule. We'll stick to things and all that. And yeah. So, do y'all want to jump right in, or do y'all have anything else to say?
No, let's go for it.
Okay. Cool. I think that I am going to go ahead and go first. And like last week, I covered all of the X-Men stuff this week. The first title I wanted to talk about was X-Men Blue. X-Men Blue is kind of the counterpart to X-Men Gold. It's the other main X-Men title going on right now. Now they're on issue 3, and I've read it since issue 1 came out. Go in there, buddy. So issue 1 and 2 introduced us to the X-Men Blue team, and that team was, if you wouldn't mind going grab him off the kitchen table, there's a box of graham crackers. So issue 1 and issue 2 introduce us to the team. This is the team that used to be called the all-new X-Men. Bear with me, because time travel. This is a team of people that they were the original 5 X-Men. So we're talking Scott, Cyclops, we're Angel, Iceman, Beast, and Jean Grey. These are the original 5 from the 60s. And they actually were taken... They were actually taken from the 60s and brought to today. This is many years ago that all this happened. And this is the team after about 5 years in the present. This is about 5 years that they've been in the present or so. And they're now kind of disconnected from the rest of the X-Men, and they're doing their own thing. In the first couple issues, it was shown to us that they're actually kind of working for Magneto, which these 5 are a lot more opposed to Magneto than, say, some of the others, because while he was the original villain for the X-Men, he's less so now, but they don't know that as much, because they're from the 60s when he was a bad guy.
So why are they working for him?
They kind of broke that down in issue number 2, where mutant kind is at a really bad point and they need to regrow, so everybody needs to work together for it.
Yeah.
So this issue...
We'll talk about that in Renew Your Vows.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah. So this issue, they are faced with a team of Sentinels. Sentinels are the giant robots that have always hunted mutant kind. And at first they think it's going to be a battle, so they get ready and they're about to fight, but then they But then the Sentinels are like, hold up, actually we're here to help. And they are all really confused and they're really wary of this. And
Are the Sentinels sentient?
No, like they're robots. They're AI-ish, but sentience is a hard thing to define. So kind of, not
Okay.
really.
I was just wondering if they want to help or if somebody told them to help.
Someone told them. Someone told them.
Okay.
Yeah, you beat me to the punchline.
Okay.
So the Sentinels, they kind of pseudo capture the X-Men, and they're like, "Hey, come see who's directing us. Our leader wants to talk to you." And the leader is Nimrod. Nimrod was a villain from like the old Messiah Complex days. He calls himself Bastion right now because he's the last bastion of hope for mutant kind. And Nimrod, he's a sentinel, so he was trying to destroy mutant kind. But now that mutant kind is basically destroyed, he wants to help mutant kind regrow. And he's telling them that, and they're like, hold up. What's that?
I said, so what? So he can kill them again later?
Yes! Exactly! Exactly! Beast brings up a point that robots have usually one primary function. And if they can't succeed with that function, then they're going to make it to where they can succeed with that function. So what Bastion, Nimrod, whatever you want to call him, is planning on doing is he's planning on helping mutants regrow so that he can go and kill them all. You know. So they get mad.
Populating the forest so he can hunt again.
Yes, precisely. So they kind of get upset with it. They start attacking him, and he teleports away. And they're wary, and they bring up a point. Like what Travis was saying, like, why are they teamed up with Magneto? They're like, we have a whole lot of old enemies offering us help. What's wrong with this situation? So that's kind of where they leave us off.
All right, so Nimrod is a robot, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he's an AI.
Okay.
So I like how this team, the original 5, and they're still self-contained. Once again, Jean is leading this team. I don't know if I said that. She's leading this team. It's not Scott. And the idea behind that is not just a way for Marvel to be all feminist and trying not to make male white men like the only leads, but it's also because Scott had grown up and kind of lost his mind and is basically a terrorist in like the present. So young Scott's like, well, maybe I shouldn't be the leader, and then maybe things will turn out better.
Well, look at him being all mature.
Yeah. So I like it. I'm a really, really big, like for those that don't know, I'm a really, really big Scott Summers Cyclops fan. So it hurts that he's not the leader, but it's still fun. It's still good stuff. Jean's turning out to be a good character. Cool. Yeah.
Cyclops is a terrorist?
Old Cyclops, like present day Cyclops, not this past one. So yes, no, kind of so. He believes that he still wants to live alongside humanity. He doesn't, like Magneto and all them, want to destroy humanity so that mutant kind can flourish. But he is of the opinion that he will do literally anything. He's also dead, by the way. That's but for how long, no one knows. He is of the opinion that he will do anything to make sure that mutant kind survives and flourishes.
Okay.
So he's done a lot of really bad things, like kill Professor Xavier.
How? What do you mean he's dead?
Okay.
How can he have opinions
So
and do
then-
things if he's dead?
Renew Your Vows must not fit in with that or the real world or something, because Scott's a normal dude and Xavier is not dead.
Are you talking? Is Scott like? Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, Renew Your Vows must be in like a completely... Do you want to just jump to that and we'll talk about that right now?
No, we'll get there. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I find it interesting.
But yeah, we'll come back to that because it's a good comparison. This is interesting stuff. A lot of those connections. But yeah, that's what I had about Blue.
We'll see it in a minute, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah. So after Blue, there was also All New Wolverine. Now, All New Wolverine is not about Logan Wolverine. This is about Laura Kinney. Laura Kinney is sometimes called X-23. That was her old code name. She's one of the many Weapon X projects. She's kind of like Logan's daughter / clone.
They just made a movie about her, didn't they?
Kind of. Laura was the little girl in the Logan movie.
Yeah.
This is her much older. They had a saga where they killed off Wolverine. It was called The Death of Wolverine. And present-day Logan is dead. Or at least he is for now. And everything is at least he is for now. Because people die and come back all the time. Which makes it even worse and more confusing. Which will be even more confusing when I get to my next title that talks about Old Man Logan. But we'll get back to it. So, All New Wolverine, what's going on right now? This alien arrived on planet Earth, and it was bringing with it this, like, world-killing disease. And it said something about Laura Kinney before it died. So it knew who Wolverine was. And when they found out how bad this disease was and how it spread and everything, they quarantined an entire section of New York. I think it's called Roosevelt Island, which I'm not sure if it's a real place or not because I don't know New York very well. But yeah, Roosevelt Island. And they quarantined it. They won't let anybody on or off or anything. S.H.I.E.L.D. has agents lining up around it, which is kind of confusing because I don't know if this is Hydra-controlled S.H.I.E.L.D. or if this doesn't play to the same timeline or what. And, Wolverine has a healing factor, so she's constantly healing these...
Roosevelt Island is a thing.
It is a thing.
That's
okay.
a thing. Okay.
Yep. I googled it myself. I didn't realize you were doing that too, Dad.
Well, thank you. Roosevelt Island is a thing. Sorry, New Yorkers. I didn't know because, yeah.
Because he's from the South.
Yeah, I've never been to New York, or at least not yet.
What do you know about New York?
Spider-Man lives there.
Different different boroughs like the Bronx and Queens.
The two rivers in New York.
Yeah, the Hudson and...
Yeah, Roosevelt Island is a tiny sliver island in the middle of one of those rivers, is what I'm seeing on this map here.
Okay. So, geography lesson. There we go. We do it all. So, Liam. Who is this? Who is it? Who's this?
Audience.
Who's this? Who is it? Oh, he whispered it, but he got it right. I've got the old Disney Infinity characters, and he loves that game, putting the toys on the portal and everything. Getting back to Wolverine real quick so I can wrap this one up. So Wolverine sees that she's healing this disease. She chases after these people that are trying to get off the island, finds out that it's actually one of her clones trying to get onto the island. This is from way back in the beginning of this series. She bumped into 4 clones of herself. Convoluted comic book stories. But, so her little sister clone is trying to get on the island to help her, and they bump into these AIM scientists that are trying to find a cure, and they figure out that Wolverine is the cure. But it's kind of weird. The way that it ends is that she can literally touch someone and cure them. Like healing, powers? Yeah, Jesus powers, healing hands. I don't know how I feel about that, but we'll see how it turns out. Because that's the impression that they give you, is that Wolverine has healing powers.
That's weird.
Like touch healing powers. But maybe it's just for this thing. I don't know. She draws the virus off of people and then heals it off of herself.
With that
she's a
Green
virus
Mile
eater.
guy.
She's what?
A virus eater.
Something like that, yeah.
She's with the John Coughlin powers. That's what it is.
Hulk, that's right, buddy.
Hulk? Is that what he said?
He said Hulk. And
Iron Man.
That's right. So, yeah, so that's where we are with Wolverine. The next title is about Old Man Logan. Old Man Logan is not the classic Wolverine. He is from a separate timeline and somehow got time displaced. Time travel shenanigans again. So whenever he was brought back into this present time, he's an older, veteran old man. And this story that we're going through right now, you see at the top it says Past Lives. It's a 4-issue arc that it is Old Man Logan he magically pulled out of his body, and he's re-experiencing all of these events in his life.
What do you mean magic? Somebody's doing it to him?
Yeah, somebody's actually doing it to him. It's a minor character, but it's somebody that a lot of people might recognize. What was the name?
Oh, that red guy?
Yeah, this red guy that I am drawing a blank on here. I'll just show the audience who he is. He's that guy standing in the center there. Like I said, I recognize him. I don't know exactly who he is, but what he's done is he's pulled kind of Logan's soul out of his body, and he's making him bounce back and forth between these realities. So in this issue, he experiences this thing that he did in Mandapore, where he got attacked, and he helped out this little kid or something like that. Back whenever he used to wear an eye patch, believe it or not.
Just for the lulz?
Yeah, as a disguise.
Makes him look more dashing.
Hey, go in the living room. Come on.
Somebody out there caught the reference.
So there's also a scene with him playing baseball with the rest of the X-Men at the Charles Xavier Mansion, which is really cool for X-Men fans because that's like a classic scene.
Oh,
Yeah, they always are out there playing baseball, and they used to say no powers, but then everybody would always use their powers.
They did that in the basketball scene in the X-Men one. Hey,
Yeah, exactly. So they had that for a brief moment, and it's funny because you can tell Logan obviously has some control of what's happening because he looks over at Bobby and says, "Bobby, the date is..." So, like, he's about to tell him what's happening and like, "Hey, come get me, I'm at this address," or something. And then the magic thing that's happening to him pulls him out of that existence and into another one. The last existence that he's in is the alternate future timeline that Old Man Logan comes from. And I'll go grab this real quick. This is a plug for this old graphic novel, I guess. So this, Wolverine Old Man Logan, I've got a big glare. Wolverine Old Man Logan is a graphic novel that puts together a bunch of books from Wolverine's old standalone title. And this is the origin of Old Man Wolverine, where he lives in a post-apocalyptic future where supervillains rule. And this gang of...
Red Skull is president or something?
Yeah, Red Skull is the president. This gang of Hulk's children kill his family. Well, at the end of Past Lives, when he arrives there, his family's still alive. So he thinks about it, and he's been traveling around with this amulet thing. He thinks about it, and he's like, "No, this is like the happiest I ever was, and this time I might be able to make it right." So he breaks the amulet, and that's the end of the issue. But there's one more issue, and that'll be the end of the story. So we'll see what happens. But Old Man Logan time travel shenanigans. It's silly. Yeah.
Okay.
One last X-Men book, and this one I was actually pretty excited about. So, once again, they're only on issue 3, so I've read all 3 of the issues. Weapon X is about all of the different Weapon X characters, mainly Old Man Logan, Sabretooth, and those kind of characters.
Is Deadpool Weapon X guy?
He is a Weapon X character, but he's not in this.
What about Cap?
Who?
Captain?
No.
Oh, that's Super Soldier's
No, yeah, Super Soldier program is different from Weapon X program.
Okay.
But, so, in issue 2, they, this evil organization working in the shadows captured Warpath. Warpath he's a Native American, and he has flight powers and healing powers and that kind of stuff, but they captured him, and they are planning on using his abilities to enhance these robots that have been attacking Wolverine and Sabretooth and the other Weapon X people. They're obviously trying to make these robots the perfect weapons, right? So yeah, they capture Warpath, and then this one, they're going after Domino, who's the character on the cover there. Domino's mutant power is that she can control probability and just have the best luck ever, basically.
I know what Scarlet Witch does too, to a degree.
But I think Domino can only affect around herself, whereas Scarlet Witch does anything she wants. She's a wizard. Not really. It's something weird. I don't fully understand Scarlet's powers. But Domino... What's that?
So I think she's a wizard. It's a
pretty
good word to describe her.
Just not mystic arts like Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Or maybe, I'm not sure.
Snaps her fingers and stuff happens.
Something like that. So Domino uses her probability powers to dodge bullets and that kind of thing. So at the end of this one, Sabretooth and Wolverine save her from these robots. The robots realized they were defeated, so they self-destruct so that the three of them won't be able to figure out where they came from. And then it pans back to the lab where all of these guys are being made and these robots are being made and they're capturing all of our heroes. And they're like, well, we'll get her next time. And this boss character in the lab, he's like, but they need something more. They need something incredible. And then the very last panel is them saying, we need something incredible. And they have a picture of Amadeus Cho as the totally awesome Hulk. Yeah. And at the bottom it says, continued in Totally Awesome Hulk number 19, which I looked comes out like 2 weeks or 3 weeks from now or something. But this is really cool because ideally, this is what our whole show is supposed to be about. I have no interest in the Totally Awesome Hulk, but it's going to cross over into a book that I do have some interest in. So if you, Travis, or Devin wanted to read through Totally Awesome Hulk and figure out what was going on, and then you guys could tell me what was going on rather than me having to go look it all up. So 3 months from now, after we've been doing this for 12 or however many times, somebody picks up a book and it says, if you want to know more about this, go read Weapon X. Well, I've been explaining Weapon X since issue 3. So, yeah. I don't know. I think that's kind of cool. I'm excited about it because I don't want to read Totally Awesome Hulk. Hopefully one of you guys do. Mm-hmm. And if y'all do, y'all can tell me what happens. Cool?
Oh, yeah, we need better healing factors. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right. It's pretty cool.
Right?
We need something incredible. It's kind of cheesy.
It is kind of...
Since he's not incredible, he's extremely awesome.
Totally awesome.
Yeah, totally
awesome.
Yeah.
Wrong word.
It's alright. But that was all the X-Men books this week. Y'all want to move on to you, Travis, so we can talk about Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Mr.
Spider-Man. Which one is that? I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. That's The Amazing Spider-Man.
It is.
Yes, there were all kinds of fun new characters in this that I've never met before.
Okay.
My cover looks
this
awesome.
The Amazing Spider-Man is Peter Parker. Last week I sat down and I talked about Ben Reilly and Kane and
Miles
Morales and Gwen Stacy. I never got to say a word about Peter Parker.
But
This week,
as tradition, the Amazing Spider-Man is Peter.
Peter Parker.
I just picked my nose on your stream.
This is way past my understanding of Peter. He's apparently got his own corporation.
Yeah, that's
the
in
Parker
Deadpool versus
Foundation
Spider-Man.
or something. It's the Parker something. I don't remember what it is.
I know he was in my issue of All New Wolverine, where they were consulting all the geniuses from around the Marvel universe. Hank McCoy, Beast was on a screen.
Industries.
Parker Industries.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had a panel with that where they had all the geniuses from around the Marvel universe, and they were all consulting what was going on with this alien. And there's Peter down here in the corner, and Doctor Strange, Amadeus Cho, Pym's daughter.
What about Richards? He wasn't there?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Reed Richards. I think he's caught in some other universe or something.
To be honest, I personally believe that Reed Richards, no one likes the Fantastic Four anymore since those terrible movies.
That is part of it, but that is part of it. But
I saw the.
I think in story, I'm pretty sure he got caught in some other universe or something like that.
Well, yeah, they had to story him away. They couldn't just have him disappear.
Precisely. Well, his wife can disappear.
Ha 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 ha.
What?
His wife could just disappear.
That is true.
That's a bad joke.
That is true. Sorry.
Alright.
I just saw an ad for the next Old Man Logan.
Yeah.
It looks hilarious because you were just talking about it, which is what makes it funny.
Yeah. All of the covers for the Past Lives thing, all the covers for the Past Lives have him in that same pose, but in a different one of his costumes.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Oh no, I was talking about this.
Ah, yes. Where he's
he's fighting.
He's fighting with.
Like some sort of orc samurai. It looks like the Hulk, but not really.
It might be. I don't know yet. So we'll see.
Anyway,
That might be the.
So the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, get to it.
Spider-Man has he's developed the Parker Industries, and he develops all kinds of weapons and tanks and things. And he's still opposing Osborn, obviously, because Osborn is always the bad guy. Osborn has found his way to some country named Symkarian? I don't know. Symkarian. Symkarian.
Okay.
Symkarian is apparently a neighboring country to... what's Doom's fake country? Latvia?
Latvia.
It's a neighboring country to Latvia. It is also a fictional country. And there is a superhero. Matthew said that he thought she used to be a villain, the Silver Sable. She's from...
I'm not sure.
Symkarian. It's hard to say. So he's working with her to go back to Symkaria to free her people from an oppressive regime, which is the Countess Katarina Kharkov and Norman Osborn.
Okay.
He has moved into her country and brought factories, and they're making weapons for him. And S.H.I.E.L.D. is not very happy with Peter Parker invading a foreign national power.
Yeah.
So she's trying to stop him.
I'll be right back.
They've employed another interesting character I've never met before named Mockingbird. I know nothing about Mockingbird. I was not able to...
Me either.
I didn't look her up. I'm not gonna lie. I just didn't look her up. I forgot to. But she seems to work with S.H.I.E.L.D. She has some sort of powers. I think she can fly, which would make sense. You know, she's got a bird name.
I know, right?
But I'm not entirely sure. So, yep, here's a picture of her actually flying. I missed that earlier. So, him, the Silver Sable, and Mockingbird, I'm sorry, I skipped a bit. She's working with S.H.I.E.L.D. to track him down. Well, it turns out she's actually working for Peter, and she quit S.H.I.E.L.D. It's a big surprise. Oh no. Nick Fury is very mad, obviously. His employee just quit and said, no, I'm going to join the guy you think is a bad guy. So the three of them are now fighting against all of Osborn's weapons. Big, giant mech tanks, dudes in goblin suits. They're on gliders, they're throwing bombs.
Yeah. So that's what the cover comes from?
Yes, that is why there are goblins all over the cover. And he is in this really weird spider bike with claws.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, I was looking down because my book is on my table here. I should be looking at it on the screen. Where was I? Oh, yeah, no, so they're fighting goblins and stuff. And eventually he finally takes one out. And he starts punching the guy, and he's like, gosh, you can really take a beating. And then he rips his mask off to find out it's not a mask, he's actually a goblin. Like, Osborn has turned his goblin... He calls it a goblin serum, I think? And he's, like, perfected it to make 100% obedient soldiers.
He made orcs.
He made orcs.
He made orcs.
Yeah, he made orcs. Although they're goblins.
Whatever, orc is just the English word for goblin. I mean, come on. He made orcs.
Something like that.
Anyway, so he made goblin men, and the last panel is him loading up a giant missile with tons of his serum, and he's basically going to bomb his own country to turn every individual in his country into a super obedient super soldier.
Okay.
Orc. That is amazing. That's pretty cool. Which Osborn is this? Is this Daddy Osborn or little kid?
Yeah, this is Norman. This is Dad.
Oh man, I thought he was dead.
That doesn't mean anything.
Harry Osborn has changed his name, and he's no longer Osborn. I don't remember what he changed it to. I just put the comic away. Otherwise, I'd look it up. Basically, he hates his dad, and he works for Peter.
Hell yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Alright, so that is The Amazing Spider-Man. What are we doing next? Next was Renew Your Vows, right?
Yes, let's see. There we go.
Alright. Let's start off with, I really
looks like it. What's that?
I said I really like this one.
Yeah?
Was this like a one-shot? Oh no, it's number 7.
Yeah, it's a mini-series.
Okay.
I'm upset that I haven't been reading it since number 1.
Well, you can always go track it down.
Yeah. So, the story is The Amazing Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows. It's all about Spider-Man, Peter Parker. He's married Mary Jane. Mary Jane dresses up in a spider suit, and she goes by Spinneret. They also have a daughter who is officially a mutant. Since Peter Parker had his DNA mutated, his daughter is a mutant. She goes by Spiderling.
Okay.
Spider. So, it opens up, apparently last issue, all the three of them went to visit the X-Men Academy, what is it called again? The
School for Gifted Youngsters.
Professor Xavier's School for Gifted Children, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. They're visiting there to see if it's a good fit for Spiderling. Or her actual name was Annie May.
Okay.
So they're trying to see if it's a good fit for Annie May. Peter's like, I love it, let's do it. And Mary Jane's like, I'm not sure. So Peter brings them there on a whim, and she's like, I really didn't want to come here. While they're there, the school gets attacked by Magneto and his bros.
Oh.
So there's a bunch of really cool fighting panels where Wolverine and Spider-Man are running through the mansion, beating up classic X-Men villains. There's the Blob, there's Toad, there's who else? What are some other good ones that I saw? That's Blob and Toad. I don't know. I don't recognize that guy. He's got a metal face and he's shooting laser beams out of his hands.
I don't know. I'd have to see it.
It doesn't matter. Anyway, so they're running through trying to get to the kids because in this universe, Logan and Jean Grey have a daughter named Shine. Well, that's her nickname. That's not her name now. I don't think they ever actually named her in this issue.
What's up, William?
Yeah.
So she goes by Shine because when she gets upset, she just explodes with light. Like, just light. Like, not like energy or explosions, just light.
Light is energy.
So, like, this happens. See?
Yeah.
Fun.
So, basically, she blinds everybody in the room, and Spiderling runs away because she's got her spider senses. She doesn't need her eyes.
Go in the other room, buddy.
But, so the storyline is those two kids are together with Jubilee because Jubilee has teamed up with Magneto.
Oh?
Yeah. Yep. Because the same thing you were talking about, people are getting desperate, their numbers are dropping, so she's like, I'm tired of waiting, I want a solution now. And then it turns out that Magneto has been being controlled by Emma Frost. Is that the right one? That's the psychic lady?
Yeah.
I keep thinking I'm naming the wrong characters and I'm getting people all mixed up. But yeah, so Emma Frost. She's been controlling Magneto mentally. So she convinced him to break her into Cerebro so she could do something. I'm not entirely sure what she was doing. Because to be honest, she was using her powers to knock out all the mutants, not the non-mutants. So like Spider-Man and Mary Jane were fine.
Okay.
It makes sense because, she's working with Magneto. You'd think that the mutants would be fine and Mary Jane would be the one on the floor.
Yeah.
So they come in, they save the day. The Spider family wins, and they wake up all the X-Men and Magneto and Emma Frost and Jubilee and all of them get sent off to prison. What they call it, the Raft.
The Raft, yeah.
That's the Shield prison, right?
I think so. It's it's this prison out in the middle of a big, huge body of water, probably the Atlantic Ocean.
Okay. So, then by the end of the issue, it goes back to the Spider family, and it's kind of funny because Peter and Mary Jane have flip-flops. Peter's like, with all this fighting and whatnot, I'm not entirely sure this is the right place for Aunt Mary.
I know, right?
Then Mary Jane says, I don't know what you're talking about. This is the perfect place for her. And he's like, what? And she says, well, I mean, seeing all of these people help each other and the way they team up and all that, I think that's exactly what she needs.
Oh.
So it's funny because, they flip-flop positions. But,
You want to sit here?
The issue ends in the all too familiar way. I say that because one or two, I don't remember, at least one of my issues last week ended in the same exact way. They are introducing the Venom symbiote.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is, I don't know who this is. Liz Osborn? She doesn't want to be called Osborn? I don't know. Her son apparently controls Oscorp, but she mentions her son as a child. So I think maybe this is Harry's wife, and then they have a son, and Harry's dead.
Maybe.
I don't really know.
Yeah.
It would make sense with the timeline because Peter's older. Peter has a daughter.
Makes sense with the previous 6 issues.
She's got a little vial of black goop, and she's looking at images of anime, of Spider-Man. So I believe she's going to attempt to infect Annie Mae with the Venom symbiote.
The symbiote
Which
might like
makes
that.
a lot of sense because they're gearing up to the Edge of Venom Verse, they're calling it.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling a lot of these comics are going to converge in that one, and that's going to be like a big spider reunion. Everyone's going to be there.
That'd be pretty
Everyone's gonna
sweet.
Is that one gonna be a crossover? It's not just gonna be its own little arc.
I don't know. The way that every single one of these recent issues are starting to introduce the symbiote, I'm imagining that that's what they're trying to do.
Did Spider-Man and Deadpool introduce the symbiote also?
No, it did not.
Oh,
But
no?
it's ending really soon.
Okay.
Which other one had the symbiote in it last
It was
week?
the Gwenpool.
Miles Morales. No.
It was,
No, not Miles
it was the
Morales.
Gwenpool.
Gwenpool. Yeah. Gwenpool
Okay.
had it. But she's an entirely different universe, so that doesn't make sense. I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of want to look up to see if Miles Morales has ever had symbiotes in it. Anyway, so that's that one. It's really cool. I like it. It's just a different image for Peter because he's a dad now.
Oh.
I like that. It's just cool.
Who's this? And this? Yes. I hope
Groot?
that everyone can hear that.
Groot?
Yeah, I can, so they can.
Good.
Anyway, so I've got one more.
Yeah, one more, and let's see. There we go. It's last week's Spider-Man 2099. Shh.
My neighbors just came over. They're visiting upstairs with the family. So that was it. I just had to talk to the family because they were the Davises are here.
Hi, Davises.
They're upstairs, so they don't hear you. Yeah, I know. So last week I had a lot of catching up to do. This week I didn't have very much because it was Peter Parker. You know, I know his backstory. I know the way everything works.
Right.
I just needed to read about Annie Mae and Parker Industries.
Yeah.
So it's not too much. So I'm able to catch up on last week's fall behind of Spider-Man 2099.
Okay.
I don't like this one.
All right.
Sorry for everybody out there who's like, oh, screw you, he's the best. No, I'm kidding. I don't really care for it.
So this
It's
is
weird.
It's an alternate universe that takes place.
No.
No?
I thought that's what it was originally, or I thought it was just, the future. He's a time traveling Spider-Man. He's the old man Logan except he's not Peter Parker.
Okay.
He is a Spider-Man from 2099 who's been pulled back to the present.
Okay. So
Yes.
this takes place in the current universe?
Sort of, yes. I think so.
Maybe.
Um,
As much as any of them do.
This issue, he doesn't interact with anyone in the current universe.
Okay.
Because it starts off with him talking to his timeline's Iron Man, who's named... I'm so bad. I should have had these names written down and everything. I feel terrible. His name is Miguel.
Miguel?
And yes, Miguel O'Hara. And you know what? It's not worth it. So he's talking to his universe's Iron Man, and then somehow he time travels forward. Not a lot. He time travels to 2019. So a little bit in the future. Because his timeline is terrible, and it's all because something happened in 2019. So he's been trying to get from 2017, let's say, to 2019. He managed to do it in this issue.
Okay.
And this issue consists a lot of him wondering about, he's in 2019, he's trying to figure out what's going on. There's a construction worker who says, hey, whoa, that's weird, you're Spider-Man? And he takes a picture of him. And Hold on. Gotta. G-Man. I don't know. So, and it's a lot of introspection. He's thinking to himself a lot. And then he finds a dude who's got like a vial. And he's going to throw it on the ground or something to release some kind of bad. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I'm not following it very well. And then...
It's a Maltese Falcon, of course.
What?
It's a Maltese Falcon, of course. A MacGuffin.
Okay, yeah. And then Octopus Man, or Doc Ock from 2099 appears and starts to attack him.
Okay.
And that's weird because, he's not in 2099, he's in 2019.
Okay.
And then, out of nowhere, someone shoots the guy who has the vial and tries to capture it. And, we don't see who that is, but then suddenly Venom is there trying to pick it up. And it's Venom from 2099.
Golly.
Venom is stopped by...
How did he get to
what's her
2019?
name? Tempest? Who's a little fairy bug creature. I say little, she's full-sized. So, and she seems to also be from 2099.
Oh my.
Which is really weird, because, there's all of his villains in 2019. It's like everyone is time traveling to stop him and whatnot. And then another dude shows up. I'm not entirely sure who he is. He looks like Spider-Man, except his suit is black. And he stabs this other guy in the chest and takes the vial. And then someone named Asia threatens to release New York. I just don't get it.
Okay. Sounds very...
I tried my best. It's just, this one's very confusing. I'm not going to stop. Because it might just be because I have no idea what's going on, that I don't enjoy it. So I'm going to read it for a little while longer. Hopefully I'll catch on and explain it a little bit better. But basically, from what I understand nothing. But neither does Spider-Man. He has no idea what's going on either. So I think maybe you're supposed to not understand anything, which is really hard for an introduction into the series.
I mean, did you read issue like 21 or 22 or anything?
No, maybe I'll need to go back and get back a little.
You probably don't need to reread the entire thing.
Yeah. Sometimes whenever I pick up something new, like I just picked up all new Wolverine and they're on 20-something, and it's weird and confusing, but like I know the character, so I'm just gonna read on and hope that it fills in some of the blanks.
Yeah, but like I was saying while you were in the other room, I was saying that I think in this issue you're not supposed to know what's going on because Spider-Man doesn't really know what's going on.
Okay.
That might be a fair point, actually.
I just think that I started on a really bad issue to start on.
Yeah. I don't know how Venom can time travel. I mean, maybe Dr. Octopus makes sense. Is Tempest? I don't know who Tempest is. Maybe Tempest has a time machine. I don't know.
If they're from
weird.
2099, maybe.
Yeah, maybe everyone has a time machine in 2099.
What was that, Travis?
Dr. Octopus and Venom seem to be working together.
Yeah.
Because whenever the human guy gets the vial knocked away from him, Dr. Octopus says, in his speech bubble, it says, "Venom, if you please." And then Spider-Man thinks to himself, "Oh no." So, that.
Okay.
Yeah. The other problem is, I feel, I like goofy Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is usually very goofy. This Spider-Man is not goofy.
Yeah, that's what I always like about Spider-Man too. He's a smartass, you know?
Yeah. In The Amazing Spider-Man, one of the multiple small heroes who are there with him makes a big joke, and then Spider-Man literally says, "Hang on now, I'm the silly one. I make the jokes.
I know,
Do
right?
that again and I'm out of here."
I think they made that joke in one of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about Spider-Man versus Deadpool. I mean, they're both these smartasses.
Silly, yeah. Anyway, well, that's it for Spider-Man this week. Next
Okay.
week, next week there is no Spider-Man.
No Spider-Man at all.
From like...
Spider-Man. Yeah. So next week I will be reading The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl and The Zombies of Assemble.
Okay, cool.
So.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Onward to the Guardians?
Yeah. So you only had one book this week, right?
Only one, yeah. I didn't get Rocket because I don't really care about Rocket. He's a stupid rat. Okay.
A lot of people would give you hell for saying that.
Well, whatever. He's a rat. Okay. Okay, so the last one ended like all of the Guardians plus Pip the Troll. They were all lunging for this sacred medallion thing, and they all vanished in a flash of light. And Liam fell down or something. I'm gonna wait for Matt so I can actually listen. Yeah. What's the matter? Okay, so yeah, this one, you know, we've got like 6 characters in this comic. All 5 of the Guardians and Pip the Troll, all
hanging out.
Yeah, hanging out. What the hell is my phone? Yeah, I get a playpen that can contain Liam. Oh, there he is. The playpen is Daddy's arms. Oh. Okay, so, and then there was a blinding flash of light, and they were teleported. They wake up or whatever in some surreal dreamscape type place. Nobody knows where they are. Pip says he is unable to teleport from there. They're kind of trapped. All of a sudden, Mother Entropy appears. I wanted to show a picture of Mother Entropy. She kind of reminds me of the, the ancient Mesopotamian fertility goddess clay figure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of what she reminds me of. Anyway, she says, out of you 6, one of you will be chosen to be the womb for a new reality. You will be the Mother Entropy of a whole new universe. But I don't know which of you it's going to be, so I'm going to subject all of you to a test. Whoever passes the test will be the new Mother Entropy. Yeah, they're like, yeah, like hell, lady. So Gamora and Drax attack her, and their attacks just phase through her like she's a hologram. And the next thing you know, each of them is kind of transported to, it's either like a dream state, an illusion, or their own reality. But they each have their own little standalone adventure, or their like little standalone test, okay?
Okay.
So 6 characters, and I have to talk about 6 different trials. They're like ordeals, really, tailored to each person individually. This isn't the order that they happen in the book, but I don't think the order matters. So Drax, his trial is he just wakes up, I guess, like in this field. His arms and legs are gone, and Thanos is standing there in front of him. And Thanos is taunting him. Oh, Drax, the mighty destroyer, reduced to a worthless lump of skin. And Drax is like, I will kill you, Thanos, and he tries biting him. So, no matter what, Drax is showing he will always fight against Thanos. Okay?
Right.
Groot's ordeal is he finds himself at the top of a very large tree that is being consumed by these gigantic termite creatures. And he just kind of despairs. He shouts, I am Groot, and he's scared, and the termites are coming up to get him, and there's really nothing he can do about it. Who's next? Oh, we'll go with Peter next. Peter wakes up in his old childhood bed, and an older gentleman walks through the door, and he says, hello, son. Peter's like, you're not my dad. My dad was, what's his name? Jason of Spartax.
Yeah, Jason of Spartax.
Yeah, and the guy says, well, no, that's not true. That's just a lie we told you to make you more comfortable.
I know you haven't seen the new Guardians movie.
Not yet.
But the character that they portray as Peter's father was not actually Peter's father in the comic books, like, ever. He's a real character in the comic books. He's just never actually been Peter's father. They just made that up for the movie.
Okay.
So that they could make an interesting story. And it was real interesting. I loved the movie. I saw it twice.
Oh, I gotta go see it here in a day or two. Okay, so that's interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
So the guy's like, yeah, Jason Spartax actually isn't your father. We just told you that to make you happy. And Peter says, well, what's your name? The guy says, well, no comment. And that's basically, he keeps asking him a bunch of questions. The guy refuses to answer any of Peter's questions. And Peter kind of is having a nervous breakdown, having realized that, you know, who he thought his father was a lie. Next, we'll go with Gamora. Gamora finds herself on a starship being piloted by Thanos. She goes, so this is my trial. She's like aware that it's a dream, or she's aware that it's not real.
Okay. Or does the others seem like they were buying into it?
Yes. Absolutely. Especially Groot. And we'll get to the others later. But Gamora knows, right? If she was like, is this the best you could do? You're not even going to try to be a real, are you? And Thanos says, well, of course, I wouldn't even try to fool you. And she's like, yeah, you know, I would never be your servant again anyway. I would be no one's slave ever. And Thanos says, you're right, you would never be anyone's slave. And that's basically how it ended. Gamora's just not having any of the bullshit. Which I thought that was pretty cool. Rocket's ordeal is he's just in some room. It looks like I don't remember. It is literally that's it. Literally just an empty room with nothing in it but a door. Someone knocks on the door and another Rocket Raccoon comes in. And then another Rocket Raccoon. And there's like dozens of Rocket Raccoons. And Rocket is really distressed because he knows he is no longer unique in the universe. He's like, no, I'm the one true Rocket Raccoon. And they're like, no, there is no one true Rocket Raccoon. There are plenty of Rocket Raccoons. What are you talking about?
I know Guardians mainly from the films, the two movies, and I remember in the first one he says, "Ain't nothing like me except me." So if that's like a real thing in his comic book character, then
yeah, I guess I didn't really know that he takes pride in his uniqueness. Which sure, why not? And I think the last ordeal is Pip the Troll. Pip is a dirty little wanker. Okay, so Pip is trapped in a block of concrete with only like his head and his feet sticking out. So he can't move at all, you know. And maybe like his hands, like he's like in a stockade basically.
Okay.
And there is a big, fat, purple dominatrix alien there about getting ready to torture him in some sexually deviant manner. And yes, and Pip is like, do your worst, I could take it. You know, like he might actually be into it. And then she takes out a feather and just starts tickling his feet. And that's his ordeal. And everybody's like, no, don't, stop. And then he starts saying, it goes from don't stop to don't stop. And then that's his ordeal. And so, yeah, I know, right?
That's really awkward.
Yeah, all right, so
now,
then...
You know, whenever you were talking about Gamora's thing, and she was like, so this is my trial. I'm not going to have any of this. I thought you were going to say, like, she was going to have, like, Thanos turn around and, like, approve of her. And say how great of a daughter she is.
I know, right?
And she was going to be like, what? No, I don't understand it.
Yeah, I know, right? That would probably be pretty hard on her, right?
That would blow her mind. That's where I thought you were going with it.
Nah. Okay, so...
That's how terrible that was.
Alright, and then this is how it winds down. They're all snapped back into whichever reality they had been teleported to, like this crazy dreamscape. And the Mother Entropy says, so I've narrowed it down to two of you. She doesn't say which. My guess is it's Drax and Gamora, because It seems to me like they passed their test, you know. I mean...
We'll have to wait and find out.
Yeah, we will. So she says, so here's what we're going to do. And then they're all like pulled from their bodies and flip-flopped like Freaky Friday-ish. So everybody is in somebody else's body. And it's not entirely sure what's going on. So Peter is standing there saying, I am Groot. So Groot is in Peter's body. Groot is saying, what the... I mean, no telling who that is. Pip the Troll says, Drax has shrunk and turned pink. So Drax is in Pip's body. Rocket Raccoon is saying, a tail? Why'd it have to wind up in him? So that's not very clear.
That's Gamora.
Yeah, probably. Drax says, wow, the old Pipster now has muscles and a set of muscles even the Hulk would envy. So Pip is inside of Drax. Oh, maybe they just flip-flopped, actually.
Right?
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Drax and Pip switched. Gamora says, well, will you look at that? Look what I ended up with a set of. So that's probably Gamora and Rocket switched. And then Quill and Groot switched. Yeah, so... And from there, she's got to narrow it down to who gets to be the new Mother Entropy of their universe.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a lot of silly tropey gags.
Yeah, that and besides like the
but it's still funny.
They're actually trying to explore the characters a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell they're gonna do with this, Freaky Friday scenario, but it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And I'm excited that it's a weekend. I don't gotta wait another month.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. All right.
By the way, Travis, I don't know if you heard this or not. Next week, if I can get my hands on it, I'm going to read this week's Silver Surfer and cover that next week.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was a Silver Surfer this week.
You didn't pick it up this week, so we'll figure it out next week or whatever.
Yeah.
I realized that you just didn't know it was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all good. We'll be better about getting stuff on the week eventually. Yeah. Alrighty. I've got two more to kind of cover the Inhumans side of things. This one will be really short. So Miss Marvel, I loved the character. I actually, in issue 1 of Kamala Khan Miss Marvel, I bought it like days after it came out because I read something good about it online. I bought it, and I bought it weekly, every single week. So they went all the way up to 19 issues, and then they started over during the whole all-new, all-different thing back in, 2015.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I wanted...
Whenever I started to buy the Scarlet Spider books, because we were reading those at the same time.
Yes.
Spiders.
Yes, precisely.
Okay.
So, one of the reasons I wanted to bring all that history up is because the cover of number 18 of Volume 1, the original, was reminiscent of this cover. Or, well, this one's reminiscent of that one. But what it is Bruno, the guy in this one, Bruno and Kamala are sitting on the same bench in that one and thinking about different things. Whereas in this one, they're sitting on different benches but thinking about the same thing. So when I realized that, it was cool.
You nerd.
So this book was really just a one-shot. It was a self-contained story, and Kamala wasn't in it at all. It was all
Kamala, Miss Marvel's
yeah, Kamala is Miss Marvel's people name.
Okay.
So it was all about Bruno. So I don't know exactly what happened, but I am gonna go and buy literally all of it eventually. Probably just buy trade paperbacks and catch up. But I don't know exactly what happened, but Bruno got hurt really badly, or he's sick. He's got something that's causing his muscles to atrophy and stuff. So he's in arm splint, and he has to have a crutch and all that kind of stuff. So, but he also got a scholarship to go to a school in Wakanda. Wakanda is the country in Africa that Prince T'Challa, Black Panther, is king of. and they're known for like being one of the most like progressive and prosperous countries in the entire world. So he got a scholarship to go to a school there, and it's kind of like a lot of introspection for him, a lot of thought bubbles rather than him talking a lot. And he's realizing like, man, I'm just not as smart as everybody here. Back home in Jersey, I was the smartest kid in the state. And, like, everybody thought I was top shit, and now he's here with people who are able to do the things he does in 2nd grade. So he goes on this little adventure with his roommate, and they steal some. He totally does this like accidentally. His roommate cons him into the whole thing, but they steal some vibranium from a Wakanda like national research facility, and of course Black Panther comes and catches them. Turns out his roommate is Black Panther's nephew. And then, while this whole time you think the roommate is just conning Bruno into going along with this awful plan, it turns out that the roommate was trying to steal the vibranium so that he can build this, like, special brace to make Bruno able to walk and, like, use his arm again. I don't know. But it was a cool little self-contained story. Has nothing to do with Ms. Marvel, except for the fact that it's telling us about what's going on for Bruno.
Bruno and Kamala, are they like dating or something? Or
there's always been like a little secret, like tension. Tension. They like each other, but neither of them really outed the thoughts to one another. Oh. They might have since. I've missed about 10 issues since I've read it. So
okay, that's
I don't know. But yeah, it was fun. It was quick, easy, short, didn't connect to much of anything except maybe what's going on with Kamala. Now, the next one did have something to do with Kamala. This is our last book of the day. I'll be as quick as I can though. So this is a tie-in with the Secret Empire story, where Hydra's taken over the country and everything.
Country? I thought they took over the world.
That's probably coming.
Yeah, they were clear about they just took over the country, but they are
America.
What's that?
America?
Yes. Yeah, the United States of America is under.
Gonna go cosmic, man. I'm just trying to take over the universe. I guarantee it's going to happen.
They're definitely going to try and take over the world. They did talk about that in this issue, the last issue of Secret Empire.
Yeah.
But
yeah, man, I can't wait for it. Issue 4. There will be Galactus.
They'll probably start with like the Silver Surfer or somebody.
Something like that. That's silly.
They're going to take over the universe.
So the main character of Secret Warriors is Daisy Johnson. She's an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and she's also an Inhuman. If you watched any of the Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, this is Skye. It kind of flips back and forth between before the whole issue kind of flips back and forth between before Hydra took over and what's happening during the book, and it's showing you how Daisy got into the situation that she's in. And it winds up that she calls on Miss Marvel and Moon Girl, two other Inhumans, to come help her. And they break into a Inhuman prison, and they're setting them free. So far, the team is Daisy Johnson, who she's called Quake. Then we have Miss Marvel, Moon Girl, and Devil Dinosaur. And they found Inferno, who's another popular Inhumans character right now.
The Devil Dinosaur, is it like a real dinosaur?
Yeah,
like
he's from the past. I don't know.
Is it like sentient? Does he talk?
He does not. He's a dinosaur.
Does he have powers? Or is he just a dinosaur?
He's a dinosaur. I don't know everything, but I did buy the first trade paperback, and I'm working on reading it.
Yes.
It's goofy, it's silly, but I know it's still ongoing as well. So I'll be reading like issue 20 or something in a week or two.
What are you reading now? That one?
This one is Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
Oh, okay.
This is the trade paperback that includes number 1 through number 6. And I was just trying to like kind of catch up on who the characters were.
Okay, that makes sense. I didn't know that book. You pulled it down. You were talking about it. I didn't know what
I did not. Yeah, and I didn't actually say what it was. This is the trade paperback for Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I can't get rid of that glare.
Yep. Now, my question for you is, who is Moon Girl? Is she related to Moon Knight? Or is that
no?
Or is that DC?
Moon Knight is
Marvel?
Yeah, he's the psychotic guy, isn't he?
I don't know anything about it. I just heard the name.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
he
he's
was in like Marvel vs. Capcom, wasn't he?
Probably.
That's probably why I know who he is.
Probably. He's got his own ongoing right now. I think they're on like number 10 or something.
When does that come out?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Is that next week? No.
I don't know.
I was going to say that might be something for me to read next week when I have nothing.
Let's see. I can figure out for you real quick.
He comes out on the 31st, it says.
Okay, so it'll be a little while. But you could always just get some backstory on it, and if you want to pick it up, then that's cool.
Yeah. I've only got 2 for that week anyway, so maybe it'll be interesting.
Yeah. I don't know much about the character. I think he's psychotic in some way, but I'm not sure. So,
okay.
Yeah. So I want to do something, I guess.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Devin loses. So pick one book that somebody else talked about, and if you were to read another book from this week, what was it? Devin, go.
Spider-Man 2099, actually.
Really?
Yeah, even though Travis doesn't like it.
Even though Travis doesn't like it, are you saying that just because you want to... Are you saying that because you want to get another opinion on it, or what?
That, and I kind of want to know why the hell Venom can time travel, honestly.
Okay.
Either that or Amazing Spider-Man, just because I think the idea of orcs running around is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it's kind of...
But that was cool, but either, probably 2099, just because it can't be that horrible.
Yeah, that's a good point. How about you, Travis? If you had to pick one book that we talked about that somebody else read, which one would you read?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I'm going through them all on the list over here on the side. I don't really care about Wolverine.
I'll flip back through them. So X-Men.
Probably Mother Entropy.
That's not great.
Secret Warriors.
Let's see.
What, you say Mother Entropy or Secret Warriors?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Secret Warriors, just to stay up on the summer blockbuster, because I know I'm gonna read all of the secret stuff.
Yeah, I know, right?
So that one I did not buy a physical copy of it because I actually forgot about it when I was at the comic book store.
Oh, yeah,
so we own that one online if you want to read it on the online account.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna catch up on those eventually. I know you're giving us little brief snippets, but
it was fun. It was
read the whole deal.
It was executed very well, and I didn't say that because I was just trying to wrap it up. But it was executed very well. The back and forth between what happened before the takeover and what happened after, it was done really well, and the characters were presenting good points with each other. One last little detail. So the Inhuman prison that they broke into, and they're freeing all these Inhumans. The last couple panels, they showed that they're breaking Karnak out of prison. Karnak is Black Bolt's brother. If y'all remember me talking about Black Bolt last week, Black Bolt was in a prison that was made for his brother, but he took his place for some reason. Yeah. So, woo.
They're gonna break in and find Black Bolt waiting.
The royal family, the Inhuman royal family is current, and I'm reading this too. I'm not caught up, and I think next week is number 3. The Inhuman royal family is off in space doing space things.
Oh boy!
Which is why they're not helping during this whole Secret Empire thing.
Yeah, Royals number 3. That is next week.
Yeah, I'll read that one next week. I read number 1, I own number 2, and I'll read number 3 next week.
So is it like cosmic-y, or how in space just mean like?
They're fighting against the Chitauri, which are a newer kind of race. They were the aliens from the Avengers movie, if you remember that.
Yeah.
They're the ones that were pouring out of the portal?
Yes.
I should probably read it.
The Chitauri were made specifically because Marvel no longer owns the rights to Skrulls.
Really?
Or the movie rights to Skrulls. Because the Skrulls are Fantastic Four people, and Fox owned the Fantastic Four. But there are rumors that Marvel's about to get Fantastic Four back. So
we'll get a good
kind of like how they kind of have Spider-Man.
Yeah, but there's also talk about them losing Spider-Man in a few years.
Yeah.
So.
Because it is what it is. All right, well.
Oh boy.
I've looked over here a couple times because they've come down to talk to me. Supper just came out the oven. So
all right, dude. Well, this has been fun. We will do this again next week. We'll eventually get on a schedule. We'll eventually be good about reading all the books that come out and everything. But I enjoyed this. I know I read more and talked more than anybody else, and I'm sorry if I run my mouth too much.
From week to week. Some days I'll have more, some days Travis will have more.
Yeah.
Unless we get it perfect.
Y'all had 3 apiece, and I had 5.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought maybe one of these days we'll be able to come up with some sort of draft system where we've got a few books that we always read, but then we just divvy out the other ones and whatnot. I don't know.
Yeah. And then we'll eventually all have Secret Empires 2 is next week. We'll probably all read and talk about it.
Ideally, that would be really cool because it's one of the big ones that's going on right now.
I'm reading it regardless. Whatever.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I'd like to get more people in here. Did we mention that Kelly was supposed to be here and isn't?
I don't know if we ever said anything about it, but Kelly was supposed to be here and isn't. She's gonna read Deadpool and Doctor Strange.
Deadpool and Doctor Strange. That's what she likes.
Yeah.
Kelly is my wife. For those who care.
Is Lindsay ever gonna join us with Thor? Maybe or
maybe, but maybe not. It's so hard to coordinate so many schedules.
I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to get here today.
Which is why we want to set, a date.
Yeah. Eventually. We don't have to worry about it immediately, but eventually. We do have to, have a scheduled time to do this, or else we're just not going to do it eventually, and then it'll be a pain in the butt.
I'll record me talking, email you the file, and you just... That's kind of...
We thought about that, but, I don't know, I like us being here and having a conversation.
The other thing that I wanted to say is I talked to my buddy Matt. That might be confusing.
Yeah.
And he said he's sort of interested in coming and hanging out, but I think the problem is he does not want to spend money to buy comics.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's one reason I didn't buy Rocket, honestly.
Delusions of grandeur here. But one of these days, maybe we'll start a Patreon and get people to donate to the show and whatnot, and you build up enough money, and we'll just have they'll buy the comics, we'll read them and talk about them. There you go.
You can take your shirt off for extra money on Patreon.
No. Yeah. That are I don't know. Who knows?
Dude, a lot of YouTubers aren't making as much money now either.
Yeah.
And I talked to him, and he would be interested in taking Spider-Man from me, because that is what he likes.
Who, Matt?
Yeah, my buddy Matt.
Yeah.
He likes Spider-Man. And I'm okay with that. I like Spider-Man, but I mean, there are other things I like.
We just got to find your niche, or y'all can trade things. Maybe you take Amazing and he takes Miles Morales, or something like that.
He'll take $20.99. Travis doesn't like it.
Yeah, there you go. Travis just... Trade with him, and That's what we'll do. We'll make it work. And
Yeah, I'll talk to him more. And hopefully, God knows, maybe next week there'll be 5 people sitting here.
that would be really crazy.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, we'll make it work one day.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for watching. If anybody actually watched, our last video got up to like 17 views.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I think like 2 of those were me.
Yeah, milestones, guys, milestones. Alrighty.
Comments? I didn't even check.
Neither did I. I guess I could go check.
Because I told my buddy at the comic book store. Oh no, I'm drawing a blank. I want to say Steve.
So you didn't
He's
fuck
gonna
up the
watch
stream,
this, and he's gonna be like, "My name is Steve."
No comments.
He's gonna be mad at me.
We did not get any comments or likes or dislikes. No dislikes. Yes.
Woo! Yeah, no, I told my buddy to comment whenever he watched it, so I don't know. I'll see him tomorrow for Magic.
Alrighty.
Maybe.
Well, let's go ahead and cut it off here. Thank you everybody for watching, and we will see you next week.
Yeah.
Later.
All right. Ooh, some food.